Are you about to pivot in this moment? You know, right now there's so much going on. Maybe you need to go to another job. Maybe you need to expand what you're doing in your business. Maybe you need to do something completely differently. Let me tell you, there is something you need to make sure you do first. What's up, Dr. Malcolm? How you doing? Great to see you. Hey there. Is that Felicia? Hey, Felicia. How you doing? Listen, there's something that you need to do first before you pivot in order to maximize your success. Come on in, come on in, come on in. I cannot wait to tell you this juicy juice. Now, before I get into it, let me just let you know I have an amazing. Absolutely. I would love it. Dr. Malcolm, let's definitely chat after this. Thanks for that message. I just saw it. Thank you, my man. I'm going to reach out to you. Absolutely. Listen, you guys, I have an amazing event coming up here in a little bit over a week from now called the Power to Pivot Intensive. You go to powerpivotintensive.com right now. Go ahead and grab your spot because we're going to be going through exactly what you need to do now in order to maximize your chance to pivot successfully. And one of the main reasons why I wanted to do this was because I have worked with people over the years who have thought or tried to pivot, for example, from employee to entrepreneur. And that's just one way that you can pivot. That's just one type of pivoting that we're going to cover in the intensive. Hey there, how you doing? Hey there, Christopher. How you doing? Great to see you. But we're going to be covering how to not only pivot from employee to entrepreneur, we're going to be covering how to pivot from one specific realm of business to another. We're going to talk about how to pivot into a completely different space in your business. All of those things will be breaking down during the Power Pivot Intensive. So go ahead, grab your spot at powerpivotintensive.com. Now, what I wanted to tell you was after working with people for many years who are in the pivot process, right? I have noticed time and time again that those who have the least success, I would say it's not that they can't successfully pivot, but it takes them much longer to do it. Okay. If you want to position yourself for more immediate success pivoting, there are a couple of things that you need to do first. So you need to start doing that right now in order to maximize your success. Let me start with that right now. Okay. Number one, the very first thing that you need to do to maximize your success when you are looking to pivot is you need to build your network or work on starting to build a network in the place that you want to land. Okay. Your target. Okay. Now, for some of you, you have been put into the space. Oh, great. Hey there, Shirley. Great to see you. All right. New to the live. Wonderful to see you here. And if you are joining me on LinkedIn or Facebook, or maybe even on YouTube, I have a new feature that we're just trying out tonight for the first time, which is pretty cool. Your comments are actually showing up on the screen. So welcome, welcome, welcome to the conversation. Okay. So, and I really like that, even though it's kind of small and I have to really squint to see it, but I like it. Okay. So anyway, here's what you need to do. You need to start to think about building out your network now in the place that you want to land. For those of you who are in the work world right now and you're looking to start your own business, and you're still working, I will say this. You already know how important it is to network within your space. Like if you're trying to network up, build relationships to get the next promotion, build relationships to increase your bona fides in your area, in your job in terms of your long-term career prospects. But what you may not be doing is networking outside of where you work now. Okay. And this is a bit of a tip that I want to give each and every one of you, even if what you're looking to do right now isn't an immediate pivot. I want you to position yourself so that you can always have other opportunities that you can avail yourself of. Hey there, Camille. Great to see you. So remember, you don't just want to pivot where you are now. You want to pivot within the organization. Well, pivot. You don't just want to network where you are now. Okay. Hey there, Sibs. How you doing? You want to be able to grow your network beyond where you're working right now. In fact, I would argue that you need to try to work to grow a network in 3 different places. Hear me, 1, 2, 3. Okay. You need to definitely network within the organization that you are right now. If you're looking to go up, okay, you're looking to be promoted, you're looking to have positive career growth. Yes, you need to have a network within that organization. But do not limit yourself to your organization. Okay, this is the biggest thing that has bothered me for years. People will come to me, they're looking to leave their job, they want to start something new. They have only networked or built relationships within their organization. And now, when they're looking to get brand new contracts, obviously outside of their organization, they might have one with their organization if they're leaving on good terms, but you want to have more than one, right? Nobody else knows them. Nobody knows them. Nobody's heard of them. They have built no credibility outside of their organization. That is one of the biggest mistakes that you can make. All right. So you want to be known outside of your organization, not just internal to your organization. So network absolutely both internally and externally. All right. And when I say network externally as well, it should be different layers to that external networking. So that next external networking should be outside the organization, obviously, but within your field of discipline, right? Within your discipline, all right? But in addition to that, your external networking, hey there, Ron, great to see you, should also be external to your discipline, right? So it's like 3 layers of networking, 3 layers of relationship building, okay, that needs to be going on here. And though we know that relationships take a while to build, right? If you feel like you're in a process where you need to have this done yesterday, maybe you were one of the people who were let go with all of the shenanigans that's going on right now. Maybe you are experiencing a very toxic workplace, given all the shenanigans that are going on right now, and you feel like any day you might have to leave, or you may just want to leave, and you feel like you don't have time to build those relationships external to your organization. Then what you need to do instead is be very specific and be very intentional about building a external personal brand and building a thought leadership brand around what you do, so that people outside of your current organization know you, like you, respect you. You cannot spend all of your time focused only on the organization that you are in right now, if at some point in your life you may want to pivot. Because guess what? Other people need to know you to make that pivot successful in the shortest amount of time. Once again, I'm not saying it can't be successful, but it will take you longer, because you'll need to create that credibility and build those relationships from a dead start. So that's something you can do today. All right. Today, I want you to think of, what can I do to start to build relationship? What can I do to start to broaden my network? What can I do to build my personal brand? What can I do to elevate my thought leadership, such that it reaches people not only where I work, but far beyond where I work? It reaches people outside of my organization, but within my discipline. It may even reach people outside of my organization and outside of my discipline, but to adjoining disciplines that I might want to pivot to, right? So I'm saying 3 layers of relationship building needs to go on for you to be able to have the best runway towards a successful launch to your pivot. Okay. That's one thing that you need to do right now before you pivot. Do that starting today, right now, immediately. Okay. Next thing I want to tell you need to do before you pivot. Okay. Before you pivot, you need to get very clear about what parts of your skills, your expertise, your zones of genius are you going to take with you? Boom. I probably surprised you on that, right? A lot of people think that when they're pivoting to something different, to a different field, maybe to a different focus in their business, maybe from employee to entrepreneur, there it's kind of, it's kind of intuitive that you would keep, okay? But particularly if you're someone that's looking to do something very different from what you've done in the past, understand that the most effective pivoting isn't starting over from a dead start, completely leaving behind everything that you've done in the past, all of your skills and abilities, all of your genius, right? That's not what that's about. It's about figuring out, where is the overlap? What can you bring with you in this new space to differentiate you from the other people who are already there? So I want you to think about, in terms of where your target is, where you're looking to go. Hey there, Rich Auntie, how you doing? Okay. In terms of the new space that you want to go into, think about what skill sets will be parallel or relevant to this new space that I want to go, that I want to carry with me, in addition to other skill sets that you might need to grow, right? And here's the part that really gets people, because most people think they just need to grow new skill sets to pivot to some new place. There may be some new skill sets that you need to grow, but you should not completely abandon the years of expertise that you have put in before you've gotten there. In fact, you want to embrace them because they will differentiate you from everybody else that's been there. They could actually be your unique value proposition because you're bringing some level of expertise to this new space, as long as you can make the logical link between how your current expertise that you're bringing over is relevant to that new space, how it differentiates you from everybody else that's doing it, and how it's a value add to that space. Start to really think about that and unpack it. Okay. That could be the secret sauce that makes you stand out positively, such that you can not only move in that direction successfully, but you can jump to a very good start in that area. You know, it's interesting that we're coming to this conversation largely because, at least I am coming to this conversation and I'm holding the event, powerpivotintensive.com. Exactly right, Rich Auntie. Because of everything that's going on right now. Particularly the attacks on DEI, the attacks on the federal government, like all of those things that have really hampered a lot of us in this moment. But when I think back on my life, I pivoted in several different times, several different directions. Because honestly, I'm the type of person where I always love to do what's meaningful to me. And I've just found that has, even though it's all things are meaningful to me at the time, sometimes my interests evolve over the years. And I found that, for example, when I was many years ago, very early on in my consulting business, I pivoted into the DEI space. I worked there with corporations, major corporations, for many years, well prior to the whole George Floyd tragedy and all of that. But when I pivoted to that space, I did not seek to go and be like everybody else that was already there. I didn't go and do all of the certifications and all of those other things that, or go back to school and get another degree. Like, I didn't do all of that. But what I did was I relied on my areas of expertise that I already had, that I knew were relevant to that space. My PhD, political science, understanding and specific focus on the intersection of race, class, gender, right? So I had a basic understanding of a very deep, not even basic, deep understanding of diversity in that way, race and gender in particular, right? And in addition to that, I knew that I could bring with me to this new space my research skills. I know how to do surveys. I know how to do focus groups. I know how to analyze data. I could bring those skill sets with me to that space to be able to provide some level of quantitative and qualitative analysis to that discipline that a lot of my competitors did not have, right? Then I also wrote a book where I did over 70 interviews with Black women leaders in various different organizations across the country, right? So I bought this original data and information that I had gleaned about women's leadership and that I was able to apply to what I did in that space. These were things that were unique to me that I brought to that discipline, and I used it as a value add when I positioned myself to get opportunities in that new space. I use that for an example for you to let you know that you don't need to be like everybody else who's already there. In fact, you shouldn't. That is never the goal. The goal is to figure out where are your zones of genius that are most relevant to the new place that you are pivoting to, and lean all the hell the way into that and figure out how you can position those zones of genius as a unique value proposition such that you actually have a competitive advantage compared to those who are already there. Absolutely. Rich Auntie says, as aunties, we've had expertise in several areas. You better believe that. Yes, ma'am. We sure do. All right. So I want you to think about all of that. Okay. You want to really recognize that and figure out what's best for you before you get there so that you can know how to position yourself in that space. Right. And finally, I want you to think, before you pivot to the next area, I really want you to think, what are all of the options? Sometimes all of the options that you have before you are not as obvious as the first ones that come to mind. I want you to diversify the options in terms of where you could pivot to, right? For me, my pivoting looked like, at the time, yes, DEI consulting, but it also sort of spilled over into keynote speaking and also spilled over into report writing. Like all of that was relevant in that space. So I want you to think about, what are all the options so that you can set yourself up to getting money in all the different ways that are relevant to your areas of expertise, your zones of genius. I like the idea of you getting multiple checks in this season. I like the idea of you doubling down on ways to get to the money in this season, right? And so I want you to think about all this before you pivot so that you can pivot with power, confidence, understanding that you belong there, right? Understanding that you are great at what you do and you deserve to be compensated accordingly. Understanding that you have the relationships that you need. I love that. Multi-patentable light aunties. I love that. Okay. I want you to understand that you have the goods. And in a moment where this world is trying to make you feel less than, I want you to know that you belong in each and every room that you enter. Even if today you're entering a different room than you entered yesterday, you belong there as if you've been there before. All right. So listen, I just wanted to come on here and give you that word of encouragement. Absolutely. Hey there, Stacey. Great to see you, my soror. Okay. Because I know a lot of you are going through this pivotal moment, right? And I want you to think of this. This is a moment for you to rise. This is a moment to live the life that you have imagined. You know, here is what I know. Sometimes we stay in positions and get comfortable in positions because they are comfortable, because they're paying the bills, because everything is working out right. And our visions for our life is that we will continue to be there for God knows how long. But sometimes things happen in life that disrupts that plan. And we feel discombobulated in that moment. It is my belief that there are no accidents in life. It is my belief that if it was disrupted, it is only because there is something better out there for you. It is opening up an opportunity for you to pursue something that you would have never pursued had you been tempted to stay in your bubble of comfort. This uncomfortable moment is challenging you to go for that thing that you really want. This uncomfortable moment is presenting the opportunity for you to get that thing that you really deserve. So I am going to push you a minute here and say, if you find yourself in this space of discomfort right now, if the business isn't looking right, if the job isn't looking right, if the job got completely ripped out from under you, you feel like you have to start all over, I want you to understand it's not really starting all over. It's starting a new direction. But now you have the power to choose which direction that is. You have the power to choose what exactly you want to do. You have the power to choose what exactly you want your life to look like now. You have the power to live the life that you had imagined, maybe the life that you thought you were going to maybe do 10 years in the future or some other time, some undetermined date. Maybe this might be the dream life that you were putting off. You are now positioning yourself so you can have that dream life now. All right. Wonderful to hear that, Shirley. So important. He says he's been networking for years and marketing my skill sets, exhibiting credibility. Perfect. I'll be launching my LLC in the next 7 months. That's perfect. So Shirley, I want to invite you specifically and all of you who are listening to me to join me for the powerpivotintensive.com, because it's specifically for people like you, Shirley, and others who are looking to launch that new business based on your skill sets. Understanding how you can pivot in that direction as powerfully so that you can start it off as quickly and as powerfully and successfully as possible. It's also for you all who are looking to specifically shift from employee to entrepreneur. You want to figure out how can you monetize the expertise that you have spent years making money for other people. Now you can use it to make money for yourself. It's for you if you are someone who have a business, but you've seen your contracts undermined. You've seen contracts canceled. You've seen your business really take a huge hit given everything that's been happening in this administration. And you need to start thinking differently about where you're going to focus in terms of your business. What sort of contracts are you going to go after? What sort of clients are you going to go after? Are you going to expand your territory in completely new areas? Are you going to create completely new offers? What is the game plan? We're going to help you figure that out in the Power Pivot Intensive. Okay. It is 3 days, 3 nights specifically. And what we'll be working through is your pivot to power plan. Okay. Because you need a plan that you can execute so that you can get there efficiently and effectively and successfully as you pivot to your next. Okay. So make sure you go to powerpivotintensive.com. Go ahead and click that link that should be in the description above me. If you are on LinkedIn, it's on the click my website, it's there too. If you are on Instagram, it should be in my just put power in the comments and I'll make sure that you get inbox the information, or go to my bio and click the link there. Any way you can get it, go ahead and get it, because this is going to be such an important training. You will want to be in the house. Invite all of your business besties or individuals who have found themselves in a position where they feel like they need to start all over. It's time to start over powerfully, where you get to decide and determine the life that you want and make it happen right now. So with that said, I hope this was helpful for you all. I'm not going to stay on here super duper long, but I want to invite you to join me at the Power Pivot Intensive. Go ahead and grab your spot at powerpivotintensive.com. Hope tonight was helpful, and I look forward to seeing you later. We kick off next week, powerpivotintensive.com. All one word, powerpivotintensive.com. I hope to see y'all there. We get started next Tuesday night, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week, but go ahead and grab your seat right now. Okay. You are most welcome. I look forward to seeing you all there. Y'all have a wonderful evening, and I'll chat with you soon. Take care, everybody. Bye. Bye-bye.